Alright, so welcome everyone. This is my second ever video I do about settings. I think it's time to update. It's 2023 January, so let's have a look at this. About video settings. So there's two ways to enter your video settings. You go up here, click on graphics, and then you can access them. Or you go here into the new settings menu. This is how the game looks when you launch it. So I would recommend everyone to click on settings down here. The reason is that there has been issues lately that if you change settings in here, they sometimes don't really apply because of that new settings. So I would just use these settings always, just get used to it. I myself, I'm not used to it yet, but yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, you could just simply copy if you want to go quick, you know, you just simply pause the video and copy, but I will just quickly go over it. Display mode is for me always full screen. I'm just in window borderless right now, so the video quality is a bit better. What's important is quite simple. You want to have dynamic resolution off, this on 0, and yeah, then next up is frame rate limit. Frame rate limit is set for me for 240 FPS. I play at 240 Hertz. If you have the same, if you also have 240 Hertz monitor, but your PC is maybe not good enough in this game because, you know, quite FPS heavy game, you can also set it to something like 180 or 200. In my opinion, there is no input lag or no lag in general felt if you play on like around these FPS numbers. I can literally just set it to 200 just to showcase that I don't care. But since I stream, 200 is very, very nice on stream. To also have my, you know, GPU, you know, that he has some, how do you call that, some air. I don't know. I don't know the English saying, you know, don't hate me for that. So yeah, I would cap it at, you know, between 180 and 200 if you have a decent PC that could reach that. If you have a monster PC, just do 240, I guess. Or if you have 144 Hertz monitor, I would not put it to 144. I would actually put it to something like 150, 160, something like that. But it's, I think, in my opinion, it's very important, especially in this game, to cap your FPS. Especially if you stream as well or record something, it actually helps a lot. Reason is that you don't. Let me quickly explain it. If you go into a turn, and in that specific turn you have 300 FPS, but in the next turn you're gonna have 200 because there are like a million items built by the mapper, you're gonna drop 100 FPS, and you don't want that. You want to drop like a couple of FPS, you know, like as little as possible. That's why it's important that you cap your FPS. So yeah, that is my reasoning. Just to explain it, I think that makes it, you know, sound understandable. Yeah, then here VSync I don't have on, and GPU, CPU sync. Honestly, just play around what you like the most. I use none, one frame, or immediate. I change around. It's like a placebo setting for me at the moment. I just use one frame. I have honestly no idea what this really does. Obviously, it's explained, but you can search it up. But honestly, I've had close to no experience with this. Other streamers or players do have some experience with this. They use mainly one frame, I believe. So yeah, I just have it on one frame. I don't really care though. This works on any for me. Anti-aliasing for me is on 4x. For me, it's important that there is some anti-aliasing, but also not too much because of performance. For me, 4x looks nice, so I chose that. Especially if I cam 1 player or cam 2 player, 4x looks really nice, or enough. Nice anti-aliasing I have on none. Don't even ask me what this really does. Oh, actually, it's this setting. Sorry, it's just a different name. I used to use FXAA, so if you want your game to look even a little bit better, try around, but those are my settings. Yeah, now to the most important part, I guess. Preset, custom, of course, so you can customize all of this. Shaders is on very low. I don't want these borders that are on blocks. Shadows quality is for me on minimum. None is very weird. Don't even try that. Don't even ask me why it's there. Maybe it's for console guys in the future. Texture quality on low. Honestly, my game still looks amazing. I will show my Nvidia settings later on into the video. I will also link timestamps. Reflections on vehicles are also on low. I don't want that. My car just still looks nice in game. Reflection on water surface is very low. Water still looks nice in my opinion. And all of that other stuff is also just off basically. You don't want motion blur, whatever. Let's quickly go in-game actually, just for fun on the map. Just to showcase that actually there is, you know, what is a clean map? This map I know this map is clean. Just to showcase that my game still looks nice. Like, as you can see, like, alright. Someone can link this in the comments and just type KW with this timestamp, but it's my PB horning. My game still looks nice. Look, my car looks good. The borders here look really nice. Hope you can see my mouse cursor in the video. And I think it looks clean. Yeah, in far distance maybe you can argue, and here the start block isn't the greatest, but you get used to that. All the rest here, I don't know, everything looks clean in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I have these settings. Analog sensitivity. I have it on the lowest possible. Honestly, even that is still too sensitive for me. I like to have it even less sensitive. I used to have a pad, the eSwap one, where you could change that in the software settings that the pad has, so you could even play on lower sense, which I really liked. So yeah, I play on the lowest sense forever. Honestly, the main reason is I went to LANs and I just couldn't remember if I played on 1, 1.1, 0.9. I didn't remember, so I just got used to this. Because if I go to LAN, I just tack, 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 you know, like easy like that. That's all. I use 005. I don't know. You can also use 00. It depends what kind of pad you have. You know, adjust that if you start to feel stick drift. Just adjust your dead zone. Maybe it will help. Maybe not. Then just buy a new pad. My brake stop is off. I don't know what all this is, to be honest. Just off, not using 0. And yeah. Then obviously you want to go to the wireless controller. That's my current one I'm using, which you guys are probably curious about, is the Scuf Reflex FPS. I have this since 1 week. Bit of a giga chat, changing my controller right before, you know, the new season kicks off in Trackmania World Tour. But you know, we'll get used to it. I'm used to that. So let's go with the binds. Acceleration for me is on X. Brake is on square. To be honest with you, I don't really have to read this out. It's quite obvious what I use, right? You can just see that. I give up on touchpad. Respawn is R1. Show height goes on this one. Show height interface on the circle. I like to toggle my interface on and off all the time. It's like a tick I have, but it's also very important for me to, you know, check my CPs, check my enemies where they at. Be with the other racers in the game, so yeah. And then I have camera free on L1. And yeah, now you're probably asking yourself, wait, where is your camera 1? You play camera 1. Why is it not bound? Well, there is a problem with PS5 pads that you cannot really bind your back shoulder buttons. Maybe you know that. Make sure, by the way, if you bind them, that you unbind them first, because by default the back shoulder buttons, the buttons at the back, they are you know, axle and brake, I think. So I think axle analog, exactly, it's down here. I think they are by default on this. So make sure to unbind them here and click them. But yeah, I use a program for that, and I think that's what people are also very curious about. Let's tab out. That program is called JoyToKey. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I hope you guys can see that properly in the video. It's quite a simple program. JoyToKey. I will put down the link in the description. It basically remaps your controller to any keyboard input you want. So if you change, again here in game, you can see if you change it to, well, it's in German. I don't know why. It is. it's a keyboard, it means keyboard. And if you go now, for example, down to camera 1, it's on 1 actually. And how does it work? Well, I want to use my back buttons. As you can see, the back button is lighting up. Button 7 is basically the big shoulder button, I think known as RT and LT. I'm not sure, those two. Yeah, this is basically the left one and this is the right one. So it's button 7 and button 8. So which is great. Your JoyToKey just realizes which controller you have, and as soon as you put them or press them, they basically light up in the program, which is, you know, which is quite nice, I would say. And yeah, this is basically the best program for these situations. So what I do is I press down the button, it lights up, I know, oh, it's button 7, and I want to have cam 1 bound to that. So all I do is I double click. Usually it looks like this, it says none, right? So I go in here, I type 1 on my keyboard. You can type whatever you want. You can type a letter, a random number, or whatever button is, you know, that you don't use on your keyboard in Trackmania. You do it like that, now it's 1. Now when I press cam 1 in game, on my controller, it also activates cam 1. So yeah, there's that. That's how you basically fix your bindings for everything. I use quite a lot, as you can see. Also the D-pad is not bindable. I need that for eyes, very important for eyes. You should bind it. You should always try and drive eyes on D-pad, at least get used to it, if you don't want to have disadvantage. Because on analog, if you know, most of you probably know watching this video, analog steering, eyes is slower, so you want digital steering. So yeah, all I do is I press here, this is my D-pad to the right, D-pad to the left, D-pad down, D-pad up. As you can see, D-pad up is not bound, but the wrist is bound. And D-pad to the right is basically just keyboard. I just press right on my keyboard and it's bound, just like that. Same for the left side. And on the downside, I have a little bit of a fancy. I have S, and S is my horn at the moment. So yeah, that's how I horn. Not really needed, but you know, a little cheeky. And yeah, you can do that with every button on the controller. Whatever button you have left, just press it and test. You know, test what you want. So whenever a bind is not working, I can recommend JoyToKey for bindings. Super easy. You just have to always launch it. That's the only issue. Yeah, you can just save profiles. You can make profiles, many of them, if you play around the settings. And yeah, that's about it. Those are my settings. I hope everything is explained when it comes to controls. Alright, and anyway, in case anyone cares, there are obviously more settings, such as the profile settings. Those are mine. Currently I have 4 PF, 4 packets full. If you know, you know. Sometimes I also use this one, XXY. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Let me know in the comments. Sound, if anyone cares. The HUD. Actually, this is I believe this should be default, but I just like to have the name, and I want it clean, so it looks like this. Those are just what kind of cams you like, the alternate ones or the new ones. When you know, first time click them. And yeah, some other stuff, I don't know, up to you guys. Up to you guys if you want to copy that. And system settings, maybe go a bit slower. If anyone cares, I'm just, you know, I'm just out here trying to help those that are, you know, wanting to copy literally everything. Alright, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys are curious, how the hell did he do 1440 by 1080? Right? Well, let me show you guys how to do that, okay? You need to open your Nvidia settings. So how you do that is, you go on desktop, right click, Nvidia system. Sadly it's in German, so I'm sorry about that. You should have everything in English, I don't know why, but I can just translate for you. If you want this, honestly, all you need to change is energy consumption, which is on just max power, and everything else is, I don't know, quite standard, I think, actually. If not, just copy it. I think it's easy to translate: on, off, high performance, texture quality. You know, despite my game looking great in game, I still have it on high performance and it still looks pretty great, you know. So I would copy these. Yeah, I have tested this, so those should be the best, hopefully. And yeah. Alright, so the most curious probably is, alright, so about the video settings as well, I almost forgot that. You guys probably asking yourself, how the hell does it have 1440 by 1080? What is this resolution? Well, it's a custom one. It's a custom 4x3 Full HD resolution. And let me show you how to do it. You go on desktop, right click, Nvidia settings. If you have Nvidia, if you have AMD, well, sell your AMD card by Nvidia. Or just Google how to get the resolution. Let's first go into the resolution. Sorry, it's in German. I don't know. I didn't really fix that yet. I don't know why it's in German actually, my PC. I think it's because I reset it. Somehow installed German. All you go is on resolution, customize, down here. Here, I think it says create custom resolution. You type in here, the 1440. That's all you have to do. Make sure it's on highest. Refresh rate possible. You press test, and then it's in here. You tick the box. Okay. That's about it already. Make sure you select your 1920 on desktop, so it's not, you know, bugging or anything. And once you restarted the game, or if you didn't launch the game while you did that, you have the resolution in game as well, right here. So I guess I can just go over the rest of the Nvidia settings while we at it, which is also important, I guess. What is very important, in my opinion, is that in here you're going to use full screen and scaling with GPU. And you can play around with this setting, but honestly for Trackmania it doesn't really matter. And honestly I don't even really know what it does other than what it says, but it makes no sense for Trackmania. I don't know. Yeah, just play around with it. Whatever does best with you or for you. I just have it like this and everything's fine. And now to the 3D settings real quick. You can just copy these if you want to. I have a program setting. You just select Trackmania down here. And the only thing I have changed is obviously the fat black one, the bold stuff, and that is energy consumption. I have it on max power, low latency on. Monitor stuff, I just have it on. Oh yeah, make sure to have selected this, and you don't want any G-Sync. That's very important actually. Texture filtering on. Texture quality, I have actually high performance, and my game still looks great. This I have on. Don't ask me. I don't know. I just tried stuff around and asked some guys, some experts, what to use, and that's about it. All of the stuff doesn't really matter. You can just use default as well. It's just stuff I use in case anyone cares. Yeah, that's about it. One last thing is I'm obviously using certain monitor settings as well, but yeah, I cannot really show you these, so I'm just gonna give you the monitor settings in the description. So if you care about monitor settings, make sure to check that out. I have certain monitor settings because it's important to see better on night maps, for me at least, since I'm a bit, you know, of a tryhard professional. And I use digital brightness on 50 just because, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest, I want 50 because of videos on screen. So if I watch Twitch or YouTube or certain other platforms that I don't have you know, too much of color correction going on. Yeah, that's about it. And as I said, monitor settings are in the description if you want that. Those are all the settings. I hope you liked it. Thumbs up. If you put thumbs down, bad things will happen to you.